online Seedstars World Competition 2020-21, the regional finals of CEE and Central Asia. I'm Zarina, I'm a Community and Events Manager at Seedstars. We're about to discover the best startup in CEE and Central Asia. Stay with us to listen to the top startup pitching, learn some cool insights about CEE startup ecosystem, and find out who will represent the CEE at the global stage and compete for $500,000.
And investors really love our product because it offers them attractive return. It's an impact investment, allowing them to fund consumers' purchases directly, and it's accessible globally.
Yet it is still hard to get professional help. In Russia, there is no licensing procedures for psychotherapists or any laws protecting clients.
We have some major traction. We have received payment service provision license from National Bank. We have leading banks as our payment processing partners. We have launched the product, as I said, 140 registered platforms, some of the major marketplaces in the region.
Sure, we have indirect competitors, but Noomee offers something that no one can match at this point. We are 4-in-1 solution, and unlike others, we provide progress reports and tools for the terms.
The episode wouldn't be possible without the support of our great partners, Vaud and Presence Switzerland.
Innovation takes time.
It's challenging.
Frustrating. But often a thing of beauty. Innovation. We understand it takes ideas, dedication, vision.
Above all, it takes people, entrepreneurs who love to innovate.
Startups that love to make change. And companies who are not scared of taking risks or wonder what could be. Fostering innovation requires the right environment to flourish.
Vaud is one of Europe's leading innovation hubs with a vast number of growing industries. It's where Swiss quality of life, stability, diversity of skilled labor, talent, and academic research are all linked together to grow ideas
and innovate. Our ecosystem is rich with diversity, setting up endless possibilities between many different sectors. Health tech and life sciences,
food tech and nutrition, digital trust and cybersecurity,
aerospace and precision engineering,
AI and machine learning,
sport tech,
drones and robotics,
energy and environment technology, all converging to harness each other's high-tech strengths.
We act as a bridge between startups, corporates, investors, and entrepreneurs. We understand innovation takes connections, support, and financial incentives.
That it takes collaboration, talent, and the most advanced technologies to push ideas forward and bring them to market. That's why we promote, invest, connect, and grow innovation. Vaud.
Now I want to welcome to the stage Daria Khlopova, the Seedstars World Lead, to share with you some insights about the region and Seedstars World Competition 2020-21.
Hello everyone, it's Daria here and I'm excited to share with you the most recent insights on the startup ecosystems in CEE and Central Asia. The region has been definitely impacted by COVID-19, but the good news is we are still active. We are now running our Seedstars World Competition online, and this gave us a lot of benefits. Firstly, due to the online format, we were able to connect with entrepreneurs from more remote places, and we are not limiting ourselves to sourcing just in the major cities. And this led us to the fact that we had 4,700 startups screened across 94 ecosystems. Secondly, we were able to enroll 1,600 startups into online Seedstars Academy and then organize investment readiness program for the local winners. Both programs were managed online, and that gave entrepreneurs a chance to connect and learn from the comfort of their homes. And of course, we were able to better connect and matchmake startups with mentors and investors from all over the world. Right now, we are at the regional final stage when we have top 20 best startups competing for the chance to become a global winner and get up to $500,000 in investment. This year, in our region, we are working with startups from 17 ecosystems compared to 13 in the previous edition. So going online has definitely some benefits, especially for entrepreneurs from Poland, Estonia, Bulgaria, and Moldova. What about entrepreneurs? Let me give you some facts and some data that we've gathered around the region. You know, and I've said a couple of times already that COVID was a difficult time for many entrepreneurs, but even though 32% of them told us this year that COVID provided some opportunities for them, especially in certain sectors that had to adapt to pandemic the most. We see that COVID had an impact on many sectors. Some of them struggled more, but some of them managed to benefit from this forced disruption. And among them, it's definitely health tech, ed tech, and fintech. And we see that entrepreneurs are seizing the opportunities. So when we are looking into the pipeline of this year applications, we see that the most trending industries are health, education, tech, and auto. And another important thing for us is to definitely to generate impact. And we are proud to say that entrepreneurs are tackling the SDGs while they're building their businesses. Top 5 SDGs for 2020 in CEE region that entrepreneurs were mentioning to us are good health and well-being, decent work and economic growth, partnerships to achieve the goals, quality education, and sustainable cities and communities. Another interesting thing that we looked into were the business models. And what we've noticed is that lower risk business models remain the most popular. B2B and B2B2C models accounts for about 60% of the models, which is what we'd expect as they're slightly lower risk business models, because they're less trend-based and businesses are more rational decision makers than consumers. In terms of revenues, we see that recurring revenues are clearly a priority. Those models take the lead on the revenue model side, accounting for 45%. This includes subscription, product plus subscription. And on the other hand, freemium, licensing, advertising, and on-demand models don't have such a strong following, but that's unsurprising given the importance to monetize immediately in emerging markets. That being said, we want to share with you some key startup challenges. 30% of startups in the batch did not reach product market fit or did not know how to confirm it. 72% of startups did not know their unit economics or were not sure about the calculations. This is why we create the online content to help startups filling those gaps. we were able to train and to give access to Online Seedstars Academy to 300 startups, and they did learn more about customers, product, competitors, about markets, pricing and unit economics, and of course about the fundraising. At the regional stage, for the local winners, we've created the online investment readiness program, and there we were addressing the startups' challenges that previously we've identified in their applications. Among those were unit economics, AARRR funnel, North Star metric and KPIs, and growth levers to scale faster. Of course, all of this was done together with our amazing mentors. We are strong believers in peer-to-peer learning. This is why we facilitated more than 100 meetings during this tour for entrepreneurs from our region. And we are happy to see that the average rating of the meeting is 4.85/5. That is considered excellent. And what's interesting to learn and to look into is the top categories of the startups meeting requests. So on the first place is strategy, followed closely by growth, and then the finance topic. Thanks to the online format, this year we were able to leverage our global pool of mentors and give entrepreneurs access not just to the regional ones, but to more than 1,000 experts globally. And of course, all of this we are doing with the hope to enable startups to raise investments. It's a bit early to talk about the fundraising results, as capital raised from the batch will only be measured in 6 months, as it takes some time to close the round. But we already made more than 595 reach outs in a mission to connect entrepreneurs with international investors. So let's see how it goes. And now back to finals.
Thanks for such great overview, Daria. Now it's time to move to the main part of the event, Regional Finals of Seedstars World Competition in CEE and Central Asia. Can Saracoğlu, founding partner at String Ventures. Tanya Kafner, expert advisor to European Commission Fund. And Serik Shakarim, general manager at Seedstars Kazakhstan.
So hi everyone, my name is Mark Zubov and I'm the founder and CFO of IMAN. IMAN is a full-stack halal finance solution used by merchants, shoppers, and investors. So there are 700 million Muslims worldwide that are young, that are digitally connected, whose faith affects their consumption choices, but 71% of them do not use banking products, whether it's credit or deposits. Why is that the case? Well, there are no halal installment products in Muslim majority frontier markets. So like in Sweden, you have Klarna, in Australia, you have Afterpay, in the US, you have Affirm, in places like Uzbekistan or Pakistan or Nigeria, there are no such solutions. So the way we solve this problem is that we offer our halal point of sale solution to merchants, allowing them to increase their sales. Their customers can buy anything they want using easy monthly halal installment plans. And then what's unique about our platform is that those installments are funded by P2P investors that invest through our platform. So this is our product. It's a first of a kind super app for all things halal. So it serves all the Muslims' needs. So anything from education, personal finance, shopping, financing, and of course, investing. And investors really love our product because it offers them attractive return. It's an impact investment, allowing them to fund consumers' purchases directly, and it's accessible globally. What's beautiful about our model is that it's scalable through integrations with banks and marketplaces. So if we integrate with banks, acting as an Islamic window to attract halal investments in traditional banks, and we integrate our point of sale solution with marketplaces. This way, our customer acquisition costs are extremely low. Our business model consists of 2 revenue streams. We charge merchants percentage of every transaction, and we charge investors a percentage of profits they generate through the platform. As for risk management, we are connected to 5 major databases, which gives us credit data on 20 million Uzbeks. And we are using that data as well as the repayment history that we already have to build an AI-based scoring system. As for traction, so we did our test launch about 6 months ago. So we have a $50,000 installment portfolio. We have attracted over $80,000 as P2P investments without having much marketing budget and without having the actual P2P platform in place. We have over 10,000 users, over 100 merchants connected to us, which are offering us very attractive payment terms and discounts. The repayment rates has been great. So we had very, very few non-performing loans. It's 97%. And I think the strongest asset that we have is our team, which consists of both local experts and international experts across the fields of Islamic finance, investment banking, fintech, UX, product management. So we have several of our team members have already built and exited fintech startups, both in developed markets and in frontier markets. So I think this is it, and I'm happy to answer any of your questions.
Mark, thank you very much. Great presentation. Quick question. Can you walk me through the difference for a halal customer? Can you walk me through what their needs are compared to a Klarna user in Germany, for example?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I mean, the main difference is that in Islamic finance or in Islam, interest is prohibited, right? So you can't charge interest on the money. So the difference is that you can charge a markup on a product, but there can't be just interest on like on money. Like credit cards are not, Islamic by default, but you can charge a markup, on a specific product. So it's what you can trade products, you can generate profits from that, but you can't just charge you for using money. Basically, that's the major difference. I mean, this is obviously this is grossly simplifying things. Just for the sake of time, but yeah, that's the main difference. And obviously, and then the funding sources also need to be halal for it to be Sharia compliant. At least, a major portion of funding has to come from halal sources.
Thank you. That really helps.
Mark, in the eyes of the customer, you have kind of 3 customer segments like shops, consumer, and investors. I think this halal requirement really matters for the investors, not the consumer as much. Am I correct?
Well, no, I would say it matters for consumers and it matters for investors. For consumers, so for instance, we launched in Uzbekistan. In Uzbekistan, 90% of the population are Muslims. At the same time, credit penetration is about 5%. So only 5% of the population ever borrow from banks. And there are a few main reasons behind that. One, there is no Islamic finance. There are just people, they don't want to take out loans because, they would be basically compromising on their faith. And then also, obviously, the cost of capital is quite high. And then, just in general, user experience of getting a loan from a bank or another alternative lender is just a very miserable experience. So for consumers is definitely the main, I would say, selling point, which is why we've been attracting so much demand even without investing in marketing. It's just people are very interested in Islamic products. That's on the consumer side. On the investor side, it's basically the same issue. So in Uzbekistan, you have about $10 billion just sitting under the mattresses of local citizens. And it's also basically for the same exact reasons. One is general distrust of banks. People don't want to go to banks because they're not halal. And 2, in general, there are no investment opportunity, no Sharia compliant investment opportunities. And this is also why we've been able to attract, about $80,000 in investments without investing much in marketing, without having the actual platform in place. The platform will be live next month. But again, because we are the first product in the market, and we see there is a lot of demand both on the consumer side and on the investor side.
I have a short question on the side of the more about the regulatory side of it. Are you falling into the regulator? Are you regulated by the banks, and will it be a bottleneck?
Yeah.
Be expanding? Because
this is a really good question. Really good question. Common question that we hear. So we are not regulated by central bank. The way we are operating in Uzbekistan right now, we have basically created this structure, which is sort of similar to like a traditional LPGP structure. So investors that invest in, they want to invest through our platform, they come in as LPs, like limited partners, and we are a GP, basically managing their capital on their behalf. That's on the investor side. On the lending side, there is no real, we are like, any other retailer that can just lend their own capital. So it's not, we don't fall under regulations. Of course, there are some challenges with this structure. It's not that flexible, this LPGP structure. There are some restrictions in terms of, how much capital, we can attract from, specific investors. However, what we are doing right now, we are incorporated in the AAFC. We just incorporated the company actually just a couple of days ago. Previously, our legal entity was in Uzbekistan. Now we have a holding company in AAFC. And what we are doing right now, we are applying for a sandbox license through AAFC, and we already submit our application. And assuming it's approved, we'll basically be able to attract P2P investments through that AAFC entity. And this will be able to accept money from anywhere in the world, and we'll be able to use English law. AAFC is pretty much the copy of DAFC, as you might know. We should make it much easier for us to attract P2P investments.
So, hello, my name is Olga. I am CEO and founder of Alter. Alter is a science-based platform helping people find a right and professional psychotherapist with proper method and specialization. Mental health issues are a global problem. Data shows that the spread of depression and anxiety costs the global economy $1 trillion each year in lost productivity, and 10% of all disabilities due to depression. These numbers are worrying, especially when such mental disorders severely worsen the quality of life. Those who suffer with these conditions, and psychotherapy is the solution. It is the effective tool with many mental health issues. Research data shows that clients receiving treatment are better off than 79% of clients who don't. Yet it is still hard to get professional help. In Russia, there is no licensing procedures for psychotherapists or any laws protecting clients. So the market is full of incompetent psychologists and scammers. This strengthens the existing stigma around mental health and psychotherapy. So people are often afraid to seek any professional help. Nobody knows how to choose a professional who fits your profile. I started Alter because I myself had switched 5 psychologists before I found the specialist who provided effective support. In this moment, I realized that even if it's so hard for me, a practicing psychologist with strong connections in the field, what can other people who don't have experience and knowledge do to find a matching professional? Alter fixes these problems and helps people to find the right professional. Our core product consists of 3 parts: a science-based assessment system for psychologists, the matching algorithm, and the online platform which allows clients to book and pay for sessions online. We estimate a Russian market as $420 million, and demand for psychotherapy grows 30% a year. Potentially would like to test some hypothesis on the US market, which is $130 billion. We've got break even since May. Now we have 74,000 monthly revenue. We've already recruited 450 psychologists and helped more than 15,000 clients. Alter is a psychotherapy marketplace, so we take commission from each session booked with Alter. Our average margin is 44%. Our team is a unique combination of market and technology expertise. I'm the professional practicing psychologist with 6 years of experience. Andre, my co-founder, and our CTO is a professional developer and co-creator for Kotlin. Now we are already a team of 25 professionals passionate for therapy and social change. Therapy helps people seriously improve the quality of life. Join us in making the world a safer and healthier place. Thank you.
You're a team of 25 people. Thank you very much for the presentation, Olga, and thanks for solving a real problem. First question, culturally, the fear of using a psychiatrist or psychologist, how are you going to overcome that? Do you think by just offering the marketplace that would be easier and like you have to educate the market that it's safe, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because like we are dividing markets in like two big groups. The first one is the people who already are seeking for help and they understand that they need this kind of help and they just need to be sure that it is safe. And in this case, platform is already a solution. And the second group is for sure people who suffer, but they don't realize that therapy is a solution. And for them, we try to educate them. We have different blogs on the website and Instagram writing about psychotherapy each day. We have a special podcast, which is a recording of real sessions of the client with the therapist, with the comments from the therapist and the client. Like this is a way to disseminate the process and making it more clear for people. We have a special guide for people about methods of psychotherapy, which kind is for what and why it is help and why it is effective. We have an online free course for people about psychotherapy as well, what it is and how to choose. And we do it each time to create some special content in order to disseminate the process and helping people to realize that they not need to be afraid of psychotherapy, and this is a safe way and effective way.
Olga, as far as I've seen, you're targeting global markets as well. You have this US expansion strategy. How are you going to differentiate from the players up there?
Yeah, like for this year, 2021, we're planning to make some research because I have an idea that we can create like now in the US market and in Europe, people are trying to make psychotherapy more accessible because they have a little bit different problems than we have in Russian market yet. Because in their case, therapy even too expensive, or therapists are having too much jobs and they are not available. Even during the quarantine, I've tried to make a session with the US therapist, and it was April, and 3 therapists told me that okay, you need to be online and I would be free for you like in October, please let me know. Then, and I was like, okay, oh my God, if I had any serious problems, how I can wait for such a long time? And this is their problems. And as an answer to these problems, I have an idea that we can decrease the number of sessions, making a collaboration between partially automatization the process of therapy and partially having online therapy hours or face-to-face therapy hours. And in this combination, it should be effective. And at the same time, if the number of hours would be decreased, therapists would be more available, and overall this process would be cheaper. So in the next year, we're going to make a research, and if my hypothesis is right and it would be effective as well as common therapy, I think it would be a great value proposition for the US market and Europe market, and with this we can go there.
Hi, Olga. I have a question on my side. There are two actually. One is regarding the security of like the psychiatrist and the psychologist is regulated because you're essentially playing with the health of the person? And how do you ensure that, yes, you're doing tests, but do you have some additional due diligence process to know that the people with whom you're working, the psychologists, they will keep this, how's it called, the oath of the Hippocrates, that they will do to the best of their clients? That's one thing. And the second thing is, how do you ensure security of the sessions? I believe you have certain, like, do you use third-party solutions, or you have your own, some kind of like Zoom thing? And how do you ensure the privacy and security? Because those two are the biggest things for me that I see.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So for the first part, we have first, we focus on the assessment process for therapists. And for that, we have three parts of this assessment process. The first one is due diligence for their education and how they behave on social media, and recommendation from the colleagues. And they done supervisions and personal therapy in order not to be involved with the personal issues in the therapy process. The second is the test, and the third one is case interview with people from the psychotherapy lab called Pirauer. It's the biggest and the oldest psychotherapy lab, psychology lab in Russia. And then we have a special questionnaires for clients after the first session, and then each 30 days, in order to make sure that the process is going okay and they see that it's effective for them and they are happy with the results. And we are tracking this process and already and have plans in order to evolve even more. And the third one, we are in a partnership with Ethical Commission in Russia, and in order to them to supervise our cases if anything goes wrong, because I don't want to be here. It's ethically heavy question, because if we as a business would be involved in ethical cases, I think it would be bad. So in this, it is great to have an additional outside professional commission for that. And for your second question, first, we don't have only online sessions. We do have face-to-face too. But for online sessions, we use Zoom for now, because of your question, actually, because for now, I don't believe that in our step of the project and with our resources, we are not capable already to create something our own, such secure as outside platforms. And I'm super worried as well that everything could be wrong with the confidentiality, because it's a basis of therapy process. And so that is why for now we use an outside platform. And for sure, we have a special agreements with the psychologist for confidentiality as well, just to be sure. And for now, that's it.
So we are Payze. We are a one-stop shop for all e-commerce related online payments. COVID-19 pandemic really showed us an opportunity and the reality that e-commerce marketplaces have become truly drivers of trade. But in reality, at the same time, there are huge problems to the online payments industry, and the marketplace are facing today in Georgia and the wider region as well. The major problems that we saw that are hindering the marketplaces, and not only just regular merchants to scale up their operations, are following. The major one we saw was that they had no capability to automatically split payments between multiple actors on their platforms. This gives them inability to scale up faster. Merchants, smaller merchants who are selling their products via social media cannot receive online payments. And another one was that there is no out-of-box way to receive recurring subscription payments online. And this is where we, Payze, came in with a innovative payments facilitator product, allowing e-commerce marketplaces to firstly take our pre-developed APIs and SDKs to seamlessly integrate and automate any number of splitting of funds between any number of players on their platforms. Secondly, for merchants who are remote or selling some like cheese that they produce, for example, one of our merchants, cheese that produces in Kakheti region of Georgia, they can now digitalize their payments that they receive with our platform with email and QR payments. And lastly, out-of-box pre-developed recurring subscription payments portal so that they can plan their months ahead revenues. The entry market which we have entered, we have launched in September, is Georgia, with 3,000 merchants and marketplaces, 800,000 transaction monthly volume, and the targeted monthly fee market that we are targeting 45,000 monthly revenue in US dollars. Go-to-market plan for us is a region. For example, we are already talking with 2 partner e-wallets in Uzbekistan and Ukraine and Kazakhstan as well. By end of the year, we are launching in these 3 countries where we know we will have very good foothold. The traction and achievements up to date, we have some major traction. We have received payment service provision license from National Bank. We have leading banks as our payment processing partners. We have launched the product, as I said, 140 registered platforms, some of the major marketplaces in the region, and we have been accepted by 500 startups global accelerator. You might wonder who's the people behind it. So it's us and who have the team that has experience building startups and companies in past together. We have backgrounds from such universities as US Military Academy, UC Berkeley, Singapore's NTU. All founders have successfully founded and run companies in past, and we have a payments wizard as our CTO. So what we're asking for now, we are asking for $250,000 of raise, which gets us to our KPIs of $20,000 monthly revenue and 500 registered merchants. We have in past raised $45,000 from 500 startups and angel investor, and we are looking for industry experts from past experience from Stripe, Aiden, or Checkout.com. We are innovating the means to getting paid online. So thank you for your attention.
I think I'll start. Thank you, Georgie, very much for the presentation. Quick question from my side. You say on the one hand, you're digitizing payments in general, but
Yes.
at the same time, you've got the use case of splitting of funds. So you've got a double-pronged strategy, if I understand correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think you will focus on primarily? I mean, you can totally do both, but where do you see the shortest selling cycle or the greatest success? Or is that a go-to-market, right, to do this first and then?
Yeah, that's exactly where. So our go-to-market, because we had to be a niche product when we started 4 months ago, was we were targeting complicated schemes. For example, marketplaces that needed automation of dynamic automation of splits. We came in with this and we saw many more opportunities, and immediately we saw the opportunity that there were so many underserved merchants, smaller, but a lot of a big chunk of them who were not being enabled to digitalize their payments. So we said, why? Like they were coming to us. So when we saw the demand, immediately we catered for them as well. So what we are doing is that we have rollout plan of features, which we are doing by what market demands. So we are listening carefully. We are doing A/B testing, feedback analysis, and once we see that some new product is getting enough attention, we immediately roll out. We have a very strong technical team, so from technical side, we don't see any problem of developing new features. It's just we feel to see what demand shows so that we can provide the subsequent supply.
Got it. Thanks.
Thank you.
And for the upcoming markets that you're planning, like Kazakhstan, Ukraine, as far as I know, particularly in Ukraine, there are a lot of alternative payment services as well. How are you going to differentiate what underserved need that you identified in that market?
In Ukraine, one of the good features we found out is following that one of the major wallets has reached out to us because they are now trying to serve one of our clients who is expanding to that region. Faber is one of the most successful startups in Georgia. They're expanding to Ukraine, and we solved many issues for them locally. So, and they now are talking to this wallet there, and they told them that Payze is solving for us this, and that. And now this wallet is trying to partner with us so that they can take our out-of-box APIs and SDKs and cater to their couple million clients together with us. So they are a wallet and we are a payment service provider, and together we can provide full-scale payment solutions, let's say.
Okay.
So that's the target for Ukraine and Uzbekistan specifically. And in Kazakhstan, we are now starting research. We are trying to talk to, we are probably going to talk to one of the leading fintechs there as well for some synergy, because we have some technical capabilities that we can take out of box and give it to this partner companies, let's say.
I was just trying to look through and to understand more on the side of the markets. So just to get you correctly, your ideal customer is the big retailers, right? Or I'm not getting something close.
So ideal customer would say yes, because they one merchant brings bigger revenue. As Tanya said as well, we are catering for large marketplaces, because by solving their all of their payments needs, we get a big all of their revenue transferred to our processing services, which of course, because we are a payment service provider and we are charging there as pay-as-you-go model, so per each transaction, larger clients are our ideal clients, of course.
So again, hi everyone. I'm Gana, CEO and co-founder of Noomee. Let me take you to the journey with Noomee, which is a play of new me in a childish way. I started this because it's a personal story and it's been my professional career for the last 14 years. It's about my passion. Today, there are 24 million children in the world with autism spectrum disorder, and this number is increasing 8% annually. Meet Alan, who is 4 years old and has autism. He needs help in brushing teeth, washing hands, and so on. But he has also a talent which needs to be discovered. And within this talent, he can become either like a leader, like Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, or just a simple employee. But for this talent, many studies showed that intense therapy can help to turn children's special needs into special abilities. However, children's and professionals' number are not equal. There is a huge critical gap of professionals' number, children number grow, and there is no insight for therapists and parents. Noomee is here to help and explore a comprehensive solution which empowers children with special needs to develop lifelong skills for independence and self-sufficiency. We help by guiding children, helping parents, and providing monitoring tools to the therapists. And with the help of AI-based solution, we can provide progress reports for each child, which enables therapist time about 25%. This means that Noomee can help to shorten the number of children who are in a waiting list. The business model is a monthly subscription with 1 month free trial. Later on, we'll concentrate also on B2B business model. Now, we're targeting 24 million children who have autism spectrum disorder, but in our long-term vision, we want to be a tool for any type of families with any type of special needs children, the number of which about 800 million worldwide. Sure, we have indirect competitors, but Noomee offers something that no one can match at this point. We are 4-in-1 solution, and unlike others, we provide progress reports and tools for the therapists. Our journey started 2 years ago. We launched during COVID. We got 700 customers. We have kept progress since last pitch with Seedstars. We have key cooperations with 2 organizations in 2 countries, and our next long-term goal is to provide digital health solution for international markets and scale up. How we could do this? With the help of team with more than 40 years of experience in health and tech businesses. Elena and me are both professional therapists. I'm still in the field, and I have also personal connection. Elena has marketing background, so she's responsible for that part. Gagik is our CTO, who has experience of 12 years leading tech companies, and he has also a personal story to the problem. But we strengthen our team with our advisors, and all the team together, we do our best to create a competitive and professional solution for for international market. And now we need a financial bootstrap of $250,000, which will help us to release commercial product and to reach our break-even point. Thank you. So let's be one of those who create impactful businesses.
Hi, Gayane. Thank you very much for your presentation and for solving a real problem. My question is just trying to go back to understanding what your original vision was and the value proposition, and if you pivoted along the way to learn that maybe providing digital solutions for the therapist is the way to go. I'd love to understand your journey.
Sure.
Yeah.
So as I'm a therapist, the first idea was to help children with autism spectrum disorder. And during the two testing groups, we realized that the product can be helpful not only with children with autism, but also any type of special needs children, mental disorders, Down syndrome, and the other. And that we need a bridge to connect the therapist and parent, because we have that issues, parents are not continuing the work at home. So it was kind of the pivot, so we increased the potential, and that we created a bridge between therapist and parent.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Gayane, on the deck, you seem to have various offerings, but from what you pitched, I think the main differentiator that you're believing is like customization, because you cited that the kind of main differentiator is to find the real exclusive talent of that particular kid and to enhance it. Am I correct?
Yes, exactly. Customization is one of the issues that also many companies like Noomee failed, that we found out. Plus, there is no age restriction, there is no IQ restriction. So with the help of that AI solution that we're researching and integrating within the platform, we are providing solution to the therapists, so they can customize it in a more easy way and can use it and save time. Because as a therapist, we can work half an hour with one child, but prepare for the therapy session at least 3 hours. So imagine that we can use that time of preparation just directly to the work, because there is like 70% of children are in the waiting list, and the global issue.
Okay, so the value that you presented to the market is actually identifying what kind of hidden gift that particular kid has, thanks to your algorithm and product and all that, and also guiding the therapist accordingly, and then he or she can deploy some kind of a standard program, but on top of that can customize as well. Am I correct?
Exactly.
I think it will be great to show more of the product, because it's rather abstract and sophisticated proposition. I think it will be better to convey to the audience, just feedback. But thank you for the answer. Now I got it.
I have a question on my side. So your actual customers are the children or the doctors, just to clarify it.
So now our B2C, who are the parents of children with special needs, autism, spectrum disorder, then we just release it, and we have like about 50 children with different types of, and then, but we're providing the product to the therapists, so B2B users, they are just using it. Soon we are in the process of developing business model of B2B.
Okay.
So we have both.
Now I have a question, because in my portfolio I actually supported one of the startups that's tackling similar problem, and their biggest issue was actually the mental health of not the kid but the parent, and usually sticking with a certain solution was up to the parent, and usually they got either demotivated or just fed up with the process, working and logging, and it became not a routine but their, I don't know, nightmare. Do you tackle this problem? How do you work with your actual customers, which are the parents? What do you provide for them? What's value for them aside from the certain, I would say, help more for the therapists, on the side where you're providing value through the therapy, but it's not very direct.
Yeah, I got your question. So first, we target the parents who are going to the rehabilitologist. So they already understand that their child needs these services. So the therapists recommend the product they are using both at home and also during the therapy sessions. This means that parent is ready to help their kid and they are ready to work. Plus, with the help of that customization, we're just providing a tool that the parent needs just to open the application. They don't need to do anything else. Everything is already done instead of the parents. So they just need to follow the step with the child and the recommendation that the therapist is giving. That was also the research we have done. It was the main issue that parents doesn't want to do anything or they don't have that professional background. So within Noomee, we're just asking, okay, you have this tool, you are already giving it to your child and the professionals already working instead of you. So they know how much time they need to concentrate on, like washing hands or going to the toilet and etc. So it's just the minimum that we ask for the parent to do it. And the feedback that we got already from about 700 customers, parents love it because they are not doing extra work. It's a kind of helper and guide for them, so they're just using it at home.
Okay.
Am I answered to your question?
Yes, I got your answer. My issue was, yeah, how are you what's your retention rate with the actual customer, the parents? And you, I believe, more or less answered this question.
We will use, we're planning to use different customer retention programs, but the main issue that we're providing long-term planning for each child. So with the solution, we're saying, okay, now your child is at this stage, we're going the next level, and then the parent is seeing the progress and want to use the product because he or she see that the child is using it, it's gamified, and they are repeating and developing skills for daily life skills.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Quick question: how do you facilitate additional methods of therapy with a therapist in the integration of your development of the app and the solution? Is there a feedback loop in that sense?
Yeah, at this stage, we have a focus group of therapists who are using it on daily basis, and we got asked to have extra features, which will help them to develop which will help them during the therapy sessions. But now they are just using the templates that we are giving, and we are doing research in a process to find out what else can we do for the therapists also, so their work will become more easy and more efficient.
Thank you so much, startups, for your pitches, and thank you, jury members, for your great questions. Thanks a lot to our mentors and ambassadors as well. I would like to thank our partners, Vaud and Present Switzerland once again. This event wouldn't be possible without you. Many thanks to all the startups and congrats on making it up to this stage. We will announce the best startup from CEE and Central Asia that will advance to the grand finale in about 5 minutes. And now it's time to listen to the jury members' feedbacks.
I believe maybe I can share. Okay, maybe let's go through it so that we can discuss it. So, Iman, overall, how do you feel about them? What were your ideas? How would you rate them in general? Because I believe
So for me, I have to unfortunately admit, for some reason, I found them to be the strongest team. In the sense, if I look at it from where would I invest and where do I see the largest global potential and the biggest market for success, I think IMAN solves a real problem. I didn't have the time to do competitive analysis like I normally would. I love Noomee the most because they solve this autism thing, but they're not solving autism. They're optimizing for therapists and parents for a really tiny market. So I can't make them a global winner because it doesn't have the potential like the others.
My general feedback with all is like IMAN and Alter have kind of a more clear product definition. While with Noomee, they're still trying to find out, they're still in this discovery journey, in my opinion. And Payze, my impression is that they're a very capable team, but they're still like trying to find out the gaps in the market. They don't have this very clear product strategy, and they're kind of solving their clients' problems, and maybe eventually they will kind of turn more into a product company, but they're not there yet. That's my impression, and I totally agree. IMAN is like, the team is quite exceptionally qualified as well, by the way. With IMAN, they had this really clear kind of vision and go-to-market strategy. And I think it's a huge market, by the way. It's a very underserved market that really nobody did. So I totally agree with Tanya in that respect.
Yeah. Actually, I 100% agree with you regarding IMAN. I believe they are the most, I would say, mature at the moment. They already tackling the stage where they're expanding. And for me, I know a bit about the Islam banking and Islam finance, and the huge, I would say, problem for them potentially is how to tap into the financial resources. Because I remember there was a case where the company was constrained to fundraise from the general VCs and everybody. And usually the Western part of the world is the source of the money, and they couldn't actually fundraise from them. So I see there a bit of a problem on side of the regulations, but otherwise, yeah, agree with the IMAN that they're the strongest. But otherwise, actually, for me, the most interesting was Alter on my side. I believe actually the psychological support is the rising issue right now, especially with pandemics. And maybe if they can figure out their product better, especially with this secret sauce and automatization and security, I believe they have the biggest potential actually out of the four. But they're still very in the early stages. They don't have their product yet, in my opinion. But yeah, and the best. And Noomee, I would accept. I would actually say that yes, they are just automatizing the process for the therapists. They're not actually. There is not that much of a pain, and they are not solving it themselves. And with Payze, I believe, John, you're 100% right. So I believe we can all more or less accept that IMAN is the strongest.
Yeah. And honestly speaking, you're like a regional hub. Probably you don't get much success stories from Uzbekistan. It's going to be like the first, because it's like a rather underdeveloped market, right?
Yes,
I think it's like a good opportunity for the country as well, being fair, because you have kind of strong countries like Russia and all that stuff that probably had a lot of success stories previously in terms of the product strategy, traction, and most importantly, I believe, I totally agree to Tanya with that, the market potential is huge. It's really underserved market, on the face, but nobody kind of managed to do something like that so far. And really, it's not that easy to collect investors' money. It was something 60,000, 80,000. It's like not that easy to collect investor money, by the way. For such a risky kind of operation, the return rates are quite impressive as well, like 97%. I think that's a very interesting business signal up there.
Yeah. And I would say the most interesting part for me is their scoring, because scarcity of data is the biggest problem in the emerging market, especially Uzbekistan. And if they somehow solve this problem, they have huge potential on that side.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I believe then we can more or less sum up saying that Iman is the first, and uh, out of the scoring sheet, actually, we have Alter and Payze on the same
Yeah.
round. Okay, then. So I don't have any more comments on my side.
I think that's rather clear. That's why I'm feeling easy because it's a really clear kind of win, I would say.
I agree. And if you needed to rank them and we needed to differentiate between Alter and Payze, I find it interesting that Payze has been through 500, but still hasn't found their value proposition, right? They're still sort of trying to figure it all out. But okay, I would like to see Alter kind of figure it out because I think they're solving a real problem.
Mhm.
And if they can get that right, it's a massive thing. I would love to see them kind of be in second place. That's my personal confirmation bias, but
I totally agree with you in that respect as well. Like Alter has kind of at least have a clear product definition compared to Payze. Payze is more like currently more like a fintech solution service provider trying to find a product. So that's not really the definition of a startup. So I totally agree with you. If there's going to be like number two, then it's going to be Alter, in my opinion, too.
I actually 100% agree.
No, I'm happy. I think this is great, and I'm impressed. I think the quality of the teams was really good overall.
So the winner from CEE and Central Asia, who will be joining another regional winners and who will represent our region at the global stage of the competition is IMAN. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Bravo.
Oh yeah, definitely really happy about this news. I mean, it's been a long, difficult journey to get here, but I'm lucky to have a really great team around me. So really excited about things to come and continue to get your guys' support to Seedstars.